Hey, this is AJ with you again with musclemodelcars.com. Today, our next step, we're going to now look at how far we've gotten with doing the separation of parts from the skeleton, and then having the different colors applied to the different parts. So, again, last week we decided we were going to try and make it as close as possible to the model. And what we're doing now is we're going to show you what we've done. We've taken the parts already, separated them, and gave them the appropriate colors that were on the box as we showed in step 1. This you may consider step 4. Okay, so with that, I'm going to kind of give you a general idea, a look at how I did it, and you can of course apply this color scheme to directly from the box, or you can choose your own. For this particular kit, we decided to try and give you a realistic view of it as it is on the box, okay? As close as possible. So, with that being said, I'm going to show you what we've done here, okay? And I'm going to tilt this down a little bit so you can kind of see where we're at here. Okay. If you look at some of these parts, okay, you'll see that you have two halves of the engine block, okay, and then we spray painted that red. Of course, the transmission in this particular model is connected to it, but a lot of times this is a separate piece depending upon the difficulty level. But again, these are two halves. These are going to be put together. Then I'm going to decide if I want to, how realistic. I'm probably going to make the transmission silver, okay, and I'm going to do that by hand because it's kind of intricate, and I don't want to mess up the red. But as you can see by the spray that it's been spray painted, okay, and we got the intake manifold. We got a high-rise one that looks like it's going to be set for a double barrel carburetor. Then we got another carburetor section down here, which is another option right here. It's kind of shorter in stature, but this higher rise intake manifold is going to be, if you're not going to have the hood covered, the shaker or either the scoop on it, you're going to put this one on for the scoop or the shaker, and then of course the top part of the carburetor. But this is the body of the carburetor. Then you got the valve covers, two of them, left and right. Again, it's going to be red in color. This is an exhaust manifold here. This is the bottom part of it. We're going to have to flip this over, and then I'm going to paint that part too. But that's also what the carburetor is going to ride on top of it. Okay, and then of course you got also these here that are going to be used also, which is the for the higher carburetor attachment. Okay, you can put that on. This here is a regular air filter that goes in the top part of it, of the engine to cover it. and this would be the one that you would more than likely get back in the 1970s um, with the factory manufacturer's part. Okay, so that's that. Then next we're going to have this color right here, which is silver. We got these. These are your rims, the inside of the rims, with the rotors, if you want to call them, and everything would be attached there. We've spray painted these here. These are gray or silver, I call it. Then we got the tailpipes coming from the headers from the engine, going underneath the body. Okay, this piece here is going to be removed, and it'll tell you right on there, so keep an eye out for that. As you can see that if you just took it off, and so it's removed. And then you have, of course, this is going to be your distributor cap. As I told you earlier in earlier videos, this is carburetors. You don't see too many of them these days. Everything is fuel injected or what have you, and or electronic. So next we got these, which are, you may not be able to see them very clearly, but they are, look at my hand, they're fog lights. Of course, there's going to be your choice, black, silver, however you want to do it, or the same color as the body. Okay, but we decided to keep that silver. These items here, maybe you might get to see it a little better this way. I'm trying not to. Okay, see, that's why I didn't want to move it. But anyway, as you can see, these here, you have the headers here, this part here. Then you got the fan belt right there. And then you got the parts associated with it, the pulleys. Okay. Of course, we're going to make this belt black. Okay. This part right here is the brake master cylinder, and the brake where you put it in your brake fluid. Okay. And this is a mirror here. Okay. We made that silver. And then again, this here is the this here, I think, is just a piece that may have fell off somewhere as far as the plastic when I was separating it. So, oh, I'm sorry, no, this is the mirror. Okay, it's so tiny sometimes you can't see it, but this is the mirror, and this here is the mirror as well. Race mirrors. Okay, then we have, let's see, moving right along, we have these parts here. Kind of show them to you as I can. You got the inside of the vehicle. Okay. It's got the gas pedals, depending upon how intricate you want to be with the painting of it inside of here. On the driver's side, you have the different gas pedals in here. You have a slot for the your shifter right up in here. It's a bucket seats, so you'll have 2 seats right here. And then you got the fan, as I showed you, the fan for the engine. You got the front suspension right here It's not really intricate. I've had some that's been really, really intricate, and all of these pieces you have to put in, depending upon the difficulty level. That's kind of up to you if you want to get into that, because these will break if you're not super careful with it. And of course, you got the dashboard here, okay, and then you got the instrument panel here, and then you got your fan belt. I'm sorry, your your uh, your water heater, your water heater, or your fan engine coolant. You put your coolant in there and everything. Okay, that would cool the engine. You got your door side panels here. They're pretty detailed. You can make them as close to realistic as you want to using fine painting tools. Okay. Of course, you got with here you have two types of hood that you could use. There is coloring that you could use. This would end up being for the locks on the outside. This would of course be painted silver to indicate that the locks are on them. This here particular mount hood would be for a shaker. This one here would be just strictly for a high towered intake manifold, and that way it would be visible outside of the engine compartment. Then of course you got the scoop. That's this guy here. That would go over. It would go over the engine like that, the hood. Okay, should you choose to go that route. Of course, I'm just giving it, kind of let you know how it's going to look. Okay. Now, there are different ways you can do that. You can do it that way. Again, this one here is for a shaker, and generally the shaker would have this guy on top of it, possibly, and that way it would look something like that. And then when the engine, that would allow, in a realistic version, the engine would be rumbling, and then the top of the filter or the shaker would be kind of moving, vibrating, kind of a cool look to it. Okay, you got the steering wheel here. Okay, right here we have the spoiler on the back. You got this here, and then you'd have the rear end differential and the axle coming from the front. Okay, uh, connecting your transmission here to the back of the differential. Okay, and then you got, of course, these are your stabilizing bars. Okay, that you would have attached to the bottom of the vehicle. So all of these have been basically color coded the best way I feel that I wanted to do it, but that's up to you. I personally like a different kind of look. Also, I seen one where I could have did it a different way, but I wanted to go, keep it as close as possible to what we were trying to do. Okay, so again, with that, with this guy here also, or should I say this one, you may be able to go with this particular hood scoop to keep in color coordinated, like, you know what I'm saying? Keep it looking nice and you know color coordinated to go with the body. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty nice orange color. Okay. Uh, so basically, what I did was kind of took my time and painted the vehicle as close as I possibly could to the color without overspraying it and then losing the detail, the fine details in here, where the lighting would be, where the seams would be, the creases for the door handles, um, the front lights, the rear lights, and then the trunk area, and you could see the different lines in it still. So you got to be very careful not to overpaint and increase increase too much paint because what happens is you lose the fine details that's in the design of the mold, the plastic mold. Okay, so you got that, and then the inside of the engine compartment as well, as you can see. Uh, some of it is taped because you got your washer bottle in there, you got everything in there to kind of give it a good look. Okay. All right. Next, we have what I call is right here is the bottom of the frame here. As you look, we made it orange. It gave you an option of blue, but I wanted to keep it in the orange, color scheme. As you can see, I don't bother wasting paint on this because it's not going to be seen and you're going to be gluing stuff on top of it. So no need to paint any of this here. Okay. Um, Over here, I'll have to look and see. In here, I may decide to go ahead and spray this a little bit because this could be seen if you took the hood off the front, because this is the engine compartment here. And this is the support of it. This is the motor mounts right here, basically, and then right here. So this probably will get spray painted, but not much, just to give it the color so it's not the color of the plastic. Okay. And then under the fender wells, you want to be sure uh, under the where the tires are, you want to make sure these are spray painted. It can be seen. Okay. This here, I'm probably going to either make it silver because this is the fuel tank. Okay. So I could either keep it black, keep it orange, make it black, or make it silver. Okay, because the black would go with the all the you know the differential, the underneath the sway bars and all of that stuff that's going to be attached is all black, and then that would be a good look to keep it that color. So it may be black more than likely rather than silver. But unlike a production manufacturer, your gas tank is silver. Okay, so we got that. And then, of course, you have the front of the grill here. I taped some of it up here because this is going to end up being black, but I wanted to get the paint on the outer portions of the grill or the panel, the front panel for the front of the car. And the same goes with the back. Certain areas I taped. It's going to take a little time. This is taped right here over it because this is going to eventually end up black, but I just painted it so it doesn't, let me see, as you can see, this is white still, and that's tape over it. So it depends on how intricate you want to get with it. Okay, this is the rear panel where the lights are going to go and all the bumper and all that once you insert it into the back side of the vehicle. Okay, so it'll look something like that. Okay, okay, but a little bit more detailed. Okay. And this here is going to get a little paint too on this side here. Also, just to make sure no white is showing when we're done. Okay. Alrighty. And with that, we pretty much are moving forward with everything. I wanted to give you a general idea of how everything is going to fit and work out. I can show you how some of the things are going to that we used. The tape, say for instance, the different types of spray paints and everything that I use. All of that I could kind of show you. Let me come over here. These are some of the spray paints I used. Testers. I like them a lot. No problem with them. We got this guy here, silver. Okay, they're not too expensive, but you know we're going to make it available that if you can't get to these parts, you can order them from us, and then you'll be able to get it. We'll ship it to you, or whatever the case may be, whatever's necessary. But other than that, we can tell you where to go. You should be able to find this. But this here is a very small can. You shouldn't have to spend $12, $15, $20 on one can that you're not going to use that often. Okay, depending upon how close to authentic you want to make it. So that being said, we are going to also tell you that this tape that I was saying here that's on some of these parts are model tape. It's sort of like adhesive almost, but it's strictly for models. And it's very thin. You don't have to worry about cutting strips real small. And let's see. It's going to be intricate, so you're going to need tweezers. You're going to need an X-Acto knife, hobby knife, or whatever you want to call it. You're going to need different types of maybe a toothpick of some sort if you don't have the necessary tools that I showed you, like in the second video with the different types of sandpaper, sticks, and stuff like that. So I think it's a lot more. Looks more intimidating than it really is. It's just the patience that's going to be required for you guys to move on to the next step. Okay, one step at a time. I feel like with this project here, we should be done with it possibly within I want to say a week or so. I don't necessarily do this every day. I have other projects that I'm working on, but we can rest assured that we're going to get it done as quick as possible. But I want to make sure I take my time with this specific video and show you the steps. This here that's needed, your painting has to be accurate as far as you have to separate the parts first, okay? And once you separate them, then you can get to the point where you can let them dry. Once you let them dry, let's see. Well, I don't have to tell you. I'm sure you know what a baggie looks like. Here we go. This guy here. This here are the baggies that they're going to go in once I am assured that they are dry. So what I'm going to do is the ones that I know for sure are pretty much how I want it, and they're dry. If you hear any type of sticky or whatever, then it's not dry enough. You don't want to put it in the bag because you don't want it to get smudged. The fan, okay, and then you got the dashboard, okay, and you got the instrument panel here, okay. Then you got the door panels. You got two of these, one for the left, one for the right side of the vehicle. You got the radiator, okay, right here. This here is going to end up getting in the middle part probably a chrome look to it, the center part, so it is more realistic. And then you have front suspension. Again, these depending upon your difficult level here, this here can get really, really bothersome and gooey if you use it too much cement. Okay, so be aware that you got your steering wheel. Okay, this you can make another color if you want. If you want to put a little flare in it and make it a wood look on the around the circular part of it, that's fine. Or a metal look along the neck of it, that's fine to make it look more realistic. Then you got your scoop, your hood scoop, one of them, depending upon how you want to do it. You have your spoiler, goes on the back of the trunk, okay. And then you got your sway bars, okay, keep you from basically swaying out of the lane, and then it also supports the body. If you were to say, for instance, some of these engines was so powerful that it'll lift the engine lifts up the front, and this would help support the rear end to keep the body part, bottom part of the body from hitting the ground, and your tail end, your bumper and everything. So these were very important in the racing scene. Of course, you got the shaker style hood, and then you got the regular, just for an engine that might be a high rise where you want to see the engine through here with the chrome. So you got that. So you got that option, okay. And that's that part. Then you got the red pieces, and with the red pieces you got this. That was my wife. I had to tell her to get back. She's coming over eating the potato chips. But anyway, you got the muffler exhaust system. You got the circular round rims, not necessarily rims, but rotors, if you want to call them. Okay, we got the two mirrors, gray, silver. You got your master cylinder for your brakes. We're gonna end up painting this silver. This part either red, black, something different. So to show a clear separation of the two pieces of what it is inside the engine compartment. Then you got your mirror, okay, it's inside. You got your headers, you got that, those are silver, left and right, okay. Then you got your belt, along with the different pulleys on it that's going to be attached to the front of the engine. That's that, okay. Then you're going to have the two halves of the engine, all in a bag. All color coded. That's all I'm trying to say. It's all going to be color coded with the valve cover, engine valve covers, and all of that color coded in red. Okay, so and I'm sealing these up to make sure that I don't lose any parts. Okay, when we first started the video and I moved this, you could see how they'll fall apart on you in no time at all. So that's the first thing. Now some of these are going to be a lot bigger than this baggie, but you can get a plastic baggie if you want to, larger. Okay, and some of it will just fit in there. Since I'm doing it, I'm not going to worry about it. But okay, I'm just trying to separate a color code, separate, and show you that everything has a place, and it'll make it much more easier for you to find rather than throwing everything in a box or the box it came in, okay, and saying, okay, I'm done, okay. So let's go with that, and then we will. Let's see. I do believe for this particular video, that's it for us. We got them all. We got it all separated. You see all the different colors, like 4 main colors, and then this here, of course, is what we use to do our spray painting. Nothing more than a cardboard box. You can reuse it as much as possible, or you can be official with it. But I wouldn't tell you to mess stuff up. You know, all of it is simple stuff you got around the house already laying that you're going to throw in the garbage anyway. Use that. No need in doing something that's going to cause you to spend extra money that you don't have to. Save that money and buy another kit. Okay? So, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode where we're going to start gluing our pieces together. We're going to allow these to dry a little longer and then start putting things together step by step. Okay? So thank you, and we'll see you next time on musclemodelcars.com. Doesn't look like you want to let me off, y'all. Okay. Fingers. Mm-mm-mm-mm.